Hello friends, welcome back to CCSP certified channel. Today I am going to cover one more important topic, that is data security strategies, especially in cloud. So we'll cover masking, obfuscation, anonymization, pseudonymization, tokenization. All this approach we'll discuss, and all this part of the domain 2. And as I informed in the last lecture also, domain 2 is very important. Around 20% weightage it has, and close to 30-35 questions you will see in the exam from this domain 2, that is cloud data security. So any topic or any concept that is given in the domain 2 is very important exam perspective, and this one which I am going to cover will at least have couple of questions in exam from this 15 minutes of lecture. So if you are new to my channel, I would like to inform that this is a lecture 5 of topic 6, and before this I have already covered encryption, which is very important. And for data security strategy also, encryption is the best way that we prefer. But apart from encryptions, other methods are masking and others that we'll cover in this lecture. We'll touch encryption a bit also in this lecture, but the detailed study is given in the topic 1. Topic 2 we covered identity access management. Topic 3 we covered cloud characteristics. Topic 4 was risk in the cloud, and topic 5 was international laws and standard. So this way I have covered over 80% syllabus. Remaining I am covering with the last topic, which is topic 6, and this is lecture 5 of the topic 6. So quickly I cover my focus in this video series. I started this around 1.5 years before, with the intentions to help you get further faster in your CCSP exam certification. So I will cover high probability exam topics in this video series. Also difficult exam concept, because soundness of concept is very important to clear any of the IC score exam, especially CCSP. It is very concept oriented exam. Also I cover classroom teachings also. So one of the important source of my teaching is the feedback I receive from my candidates and question I receives. So I cover those questions also in this video series. Those are memory based questions apart from this official question bank and sample question banks. And to the point discussion, because time is limited, and I will try to use my 15 years of IT experience, CCSP, CISSP, and cloud certification learnings to make things simple and easy for you. So many candidates ask me, do we need any classroom teaching apart from this? I say no. It is definitely free and sufficient, but sometimes you need someone who can assist you on the some doubt sessions, or explaining any concept, or explain any questions, or what is important, what not to be read, what to read, what not to be read. If you need a mentor in those cases, I'm happy to assist. You can reach me. I do conduct regular batches also, and you can purchase self-paced training program, which is same as a regular batch, where you will get recording plus my guidance and customized question bank, all in the nominal rates. So next page I'm starting, and I expect in 35 hours you can be well familiar with the topic and concept, which will go from 30th March to end of the April, might be 30th April or beyond that, around 35 hours. It will be on weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m. IST. So if you are interested, you can write me at the ccsp-certified at the gmail.com, or WhatsApp me on this number. There is no calling facility on this one. WhatsApp me +591 837 008164. So we jump to the topic of the day, which is data security strategies. So one of the important way of securing the data is encryption, which we have seen extensively in domain 1, but I quickly cover it again. Encryption is that we convert a data which is a normal readable data to non-readable, or still it is readable but non-understandable format. And this is best way to secure data in the cloud, that we already have detailed discussion. My suggestion is to refer them topic 1 again, in case you are weak in the encryption, because exam will have around 10 to 15 questions from encryption itself. So encryption is good to have, but it's not necessary we should use it in every uh, uh, place or with every data. And reason is that in case you have a luxury car, you might not use it for going to grocery store, or going too far, because it has a high cost, low mileage, high maintenance cost. Same way encryption is. Encryption is a costlier solution which decrease the performance. also increase the cost, overhead. So that's why encryption is best to use, but only with the critical data. Rest of the data we need other strategies, and those we were discussing in this lecture. So other strategies like data obfuscation or masking, pseudonymization, de-identification, anonymization. In the next lecture, we'll cover the tokenization also, because this will be a bigger lecture if I cover all this topic together. So I'm covering this for today, and tokenization and other approach I will cover in the next video. So what is data obfuscation and masking? At least couple of questions you can see from this. Masking itself is a favorite topic of CCSP. They ask a couple of questions from masking itself. So obfuscation has a bigger term. Sometimes we wrongly say data obfuscation is a masking, but masking is a one of the way. Data obfuscation is a one-way operation. First thing is encryption is a two-way operation. When you encrypt data using a key, you can use the same key or derive key from that key to decrypt and convert the data back. But data obfuscation is a one-way operation, and it replaces sensitive data with some random data which cannot be regenerated. Normally it is for creating some test database we generate, or some dynamic masking we'll see in a subsequent slide, where we can use a specific field of the application over the wire or over the call that can be masked. So this use cases, masking or obfuscation, is very important, but those are not the only way. There are other ways also, like random substitute. When we substitute the value with some other value randomly, or we use some algorithm to substitute the value with the new value, or we shuffle the place of the data, like 123 can be 213. Same way masking, which we discuss, when we use some special character like XXX. Normally we have seen the credit card data, where we convert this normal data to the mask data, and it cannot be converted back. So no one can uh, convert this XXX to actual number, because there is no logic here. And some value variation, like if 2 can be increased to 2.2, some percentage plus minus. All these ways are good to know, but for exam perspectives, only important is masking that we'll read in detail. So quick overview: when there is a data, if you convert data to that non-production data to test database for some analysis or testing purpose, you do some shuffling of the data, some substitution, like 112233 can be 010101, some name can be changed, or address can be, some custom algorithm can be used to change the address, or we can, like credit card information can be masked with the XXX data. Nullification also there, which we see in the subsequent slide, when you remove the data which is not required and which is very critical associated with the user personal information. And we have seen in the topic 5 that the HIPAA and high tech, which has a requirement that in the US you cannot have a patient data, or at least the critical information of their disease, available and can be disclosed to anyone else. This way data can be manipulated and can be used for purpose other than the production uses. And there are two important use cases we'll see. One is static masking, very important. One exam question you can see in the static masking, one is the dynamic masking. At least one question from these two concepts. So static masking is the mask the data and create a new copy of the data from the production data. So in a static masking, a new copy of data is created. So if the production data can be masked, we can be used for training, testing, development purpose. This is a actually effective when creating a clean non-production environment. So in the exam question, if you see a use case where XYZ want to do some testing, some analysis, they will construct a scenario, and for this, then they want a copy of the production data. And what is the best way they can construct the non-production data without that sensitive data is not being exposed, or without having a creation problem of the personal data. Then masking, static masking is the best way. Here data is modified in such a way it can be used in the other environment using different masking approach. We have seen that all the data obfuscation methods are used, can be used here. Nullification, random substitutions, or the algorithm substitutions, all this can be used to produce a non-production database. Next one is dynamic masking, very very important, highly used in industry, especially the customer care industries, where you provide your identification information and they ask you please share the last four digit your credit card when you call customer care service. So what happened? Database does not have a mask data. In the static masking, database has a mask data and which is a non-production database. But here production database itself has a actual data like your full credit card number, full salary detail, SSN numbers like this. But there are two type of users, privileged and non-privileged. Let's say non-privileged are the customer care executive. If you call on the fly masking happen. So when a privileged user or admin user search the database, it will give the full data, but the non-privileged user will get only the mask data and required field like last four digits should be available to identify a user. This much information will be given non-masked to the non-privileged user. So this is also known as the on-the-fly masking. Very important, as I informed before also twice, dynamic and static masking, at least one question. If you are going to prepare a non-production database, go with the static masking. If the production database can be used such a way that different type of users can access it differently, then it is a dynamic masking. Two more concept, pseudonymization. Pseudonymization is the uh, different type of obfuscation where reverse is possible. So we have seen this obfuscation and masking is a one-way operation. Encryption is a two-way operation. Pseudonymization is also two-way operation. Here data is being converted in a such a way that it may be converted back if required, and this is often used to minimize risk of data breaches, and it is normally performed by data owner, data controller prior to sending data to data processor. So let's say in a scenario you are a big grocery store, you have a data of thousands of customer every month, then you want to identify some hidden pattern from this one. So you want to link the user who has purchased something, but you don't want to disclose the actual user detail to them. So in this case, let's say this is the actual table. John has account ID, email ID, and transaction values is there. Same way, some other user, three users. So this can be converted. John can be converted to some other string. Jenny can be converted to some other string. Tom can be converted to some other string. Same way, account ID also and email ID also. But the actual transaction data will remain same. So this way you can do the analysis and send the data back. But from data you want to identify who was the highest buyer of the month, at least from a string or some email ID which is converted back, you can identify a user and you can send a reward or send other offers to him or them. This way some data pseudonymization can work where data is being sent to other processing unit, might be cloud based or on-premise based, where the data, actual data with the change in the important fields that can be again used or revert back. So pseudonymization is a two-way operation, encryption is a two-way operation, hashing and the masking are the one-way operation. Always remember, hashing also one-way operation. Last concept is data de-identification or anonymization. Here we have seen that the PII are the main important data, personal identifier information, and for this we are using encryption, we are using hashing, we are using pseudonymization, anonymization, or the masking, all this approach. But anonymization, normally all this masking, normally we use to protect the direct identifier, but there are indirect identifier also there, like your social economic information, some of the dates, events, or addresses, which can indirectly identify a person. So this also can be used to remove via the anonymization process. So anonymization is the one which can remove the indirect identifier. So if in exam question, if you see how to protect the direct identifier, use masking. Indirect identifier, use anonymizations. So some performance testing or some rehearsal debugging issues, the data security is a issue. You can use the data anonymization when you do the data de-identification or anonymization concept. Hope this is clear. These five concepts are very important for exam. At least couple of questions you will see, one from masking and remaining from the other concept. We'll see what type of question can be seen and one live question also in the next slide. So let's come to the questions now. The first one, all of these are methods of data security strategies except. So as I informed before also, if there will be negative question, CCSP will underline that keyword so you don't miss that one. So masking, obfuscation and anonymization. We have seen this encryption and tokenization and pseudonymization. Along with these three are the methods for the data securities. So option will be none of the above because all four are correct in this question. So we go to next one. Now the next question is which strategy involved hiding data in a dataset to prevent someone from identifying a specific individual based on the indirect data field present? We have seen and discussed this also. Masking is for direct field, but anonymization is the for indirect field. So option B is correct, which is anonymization in this case. Now go to next question. Data masking is best described as which of the following? So we have seen the two data masking approach. One is the static, one is dynamic. We'll see which one is the use case mentioned here. First one is method for creating similar but unauthenticated database used for software testing and user training. Looks good. Second one, method for creating similar and authenticate. We have seen this. The data in the test environment is unauthenticated data. It is not actual data because it is mass data. Method for testing. It is not a testing method. It is a creation data creation method. So option A is the only option which is correct in this case. So correct answer for this is A, where we will use the static masking to create a similar but unauthenticated database for the lower environment for testing and training purpose. For which use case would it probably be best use the dynamic masking? Very important for exam perspective, as I mentioned. For which scenario dynamic masking is more useful? Creating a test environment. For this we'll use a static masking. Allowing a customer service representative limited access. Yes, this is what we have seen the dynamic masking. We'll read other two options also, sending incident response notification and implemented business continuity. No, these two are not associated with the masking, so option B is correct. The last one, and we have seen the similar question in exam also recently. It not the same language but almost identical language. Which of the following is the process of replacing sensitive data? So sensitive data means masking, we are assuming, or encryption or any of these strategies because we deal with the sensitive data with unique identification symbols the retain that retain all essential information about the data. So if you read it properly, it is asking that the information is retained, and it means that information can be retrieved back. So only three scenarios we have seen where information can be retrieved back. One was the encryption, second was the pseudonymization, and these are the two methods actually. We don't have a pseudonymization option here, so we have encryption option on C. So sensitive data can be masked with the data masking also. Anonymization is to remove the indirect identifier, which is not the case here. It is the sensitive data which is direct identifier here. So option D is eliminated. SSO has nothing to do with here. So option C is eliminated. Between option 1 and 2, because it is asking to retain a data back, so which is only two-way operation here is the encryption. So option A is correct. So this type of questions you will see in the exam along with the dynamic or static question that we have seen prior to this. So this is for today. We'll cover more security strategies in next lecture. Hope you have found these lectures useful. In case you are liking it, I request to subscribe my channel and follow me. Also, you can write me your feedback at the ccsp-certified@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on this number +91 837 00081064.